Before we get into your spread today, allow me to vaguely provide you with some background information as to what it means when a planet is retrograde. Generally speaking, when a planet is retrograde, it means that the planet is orbiting much slower than usual and, from our perspective, appears to be traveling backwards. The best example that can further explain this is, say for instance you are traveling on the freeway. Your car and the vehicle in the lane beside you are traveling at the exact same speed. Then you decide to slightly increase your speed. It will then appear to you as though the vehicle next to you was moving backwards. The vehicle is not actually moving backwards, it simply appears that it is from your current perspective. So, in essence, Pluto is basically orbiting at a much slower speed or pace than usual. So Pluto retrograde in general entails that we may have difficulty transforming our lives due to fear of letting go. You will probably have difficulty expressing your personal power and influence. A fear of being controlled or of taking control can stem from past life and or childhood experiences involving abuse of power or being overly controlled. The severity as to how this will affect you will be shown through aspects to your Pluto in your natal chart. Regardless if your natal Pluto is retrograde or not, you will experience some of Pluto's energy. Your particular experience may not be felt as strongly as others. But this particular Pluto retrograde in April of 2017 starts on April 20th, 19 degrees in Capricorn, and ends on September 28th, 16 degrees in Capricorn, which brings opportunities for progress, but a number of big obstacles will have to be overcome to get there. An internal investigation is needed to root out a barrier to progress and eliminate it. Jupiter, also retrograde, adds one more degree of difficulty. Some destructive energy is hindering a necessary Plutonic transformation. This particular involvement of Jupiter suggests that this problem relates to greed, excess, faith, or ideology. What makes this particular Pluto retrograde much different is that Pluto will be aspected by Jupiter, which is also currently retrograde, by what is known as a square. An astrological square differs from an opposition, inasmuch as an opposition entails that two planets are not in harmony with each other, while a square entails tension. Given Jupiter square Pluto makes you want to succeed, and succeed big time. Success, power, and influence are all possible, but without some care, there could be ruthless determination, greed, corruption, obsessive and compulsive behavior, excessive pride, and overestimating resources. These are some of the themes that this Pluto retrograde could manifest within social groups and or social situations. On a lighter note, Jupiter retrograde in itself can promise achieved growth and happiness in a particular area of life that is important to you now. Whatever your hopes for the future may be, this year's Jupiter retrograde is an opportunity to make great leaps and bounds toward living out your dreams. However, with Jupiter retrograde square Pluto retrograde, if your goals are unrealistic, deceitful, or greedy, then disappointment and loss will more than likely follow. Okay guys, with that background information, let's go and get started on your spread. What's up, Sagittarius? Let's go and get started on your reading for the Pluto retrograde. I already pre-shuffled the cards, so let's go and get started. Guardian angels of love and light, ancestors lost and known in the seas of time, please intercede into this reading to provide Sagittarius with the clarity and direction as to which he or she seeks, and please grant me, the reader, the objectivity to read the cards and relay the messages as they are meant to be. Right, Spirit, let's go ahead and release the first card for Sagittarius for permeation. The first card for Sagittarius, Spirit, for permeation. What needs to reach Sagittarius' intuition during this Pluto retrograde? What needs to reach Sagittarius' intuition? The Four Wands. Not bad for your first card, Sagittarius. It's pretty good, Saggy. Okay. Spirit, release the second card, please, for proposal for Sagittarius during this Pluto retrograde. Reveal what Sagittarius needs to reflect on, please. This Pluto Retrograde. What does Sagittarius need to reflect on? Please, Spirit, reveal such aspect. What does Sagittarius need to reflect on? The Son of Swords in reverse. Spirit, release the third card for Propriety for Sagittarius. These two cards fail, Sag. I'm going to go ahead and put them back in the deck. I don't really feel taking those two off of failing. Release the third card, please, for Sag. For Propriety, the things the Sagittarius needs to be honest about, the hidden truths that command Sagittarius' honesty. Okay. Judgment. Spirit, release the fourth card for Sagittarius for Perception. What needs to be highlighted for Sagittarius? These two popped out. I'm going to take the bottom one. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take both of these, Sag. I changed my mind. So it kind of came like this. Or that's how they popped out. So we're going to go ahead and do this one. Actually, yeah, they popped out like this. So the Son of Cups is for your fourth position. And then we're going to do the Seven of Pentacles for your fifth position. Okay. Spirit, release the fifth position. I'm sorry, the sixth position for Sagittarius for Pursuance. What are the transitions and adjustments ahead for Sagittarius? The transitions and adjustments ahead. I think one flipped here. Oh, I guess not. Sounded like it did. Okay. Go to release the sixth card for Pursuance for Sagittarius. What are the transitions and adjustments ahead, Spirit, for Sagittarius? Please release the sixth card for this Pluto Retrograde. Wow, Sag, they're really searching for your card, huh? Oh, there we go. The Daughter of Cups in reverse. Sorry, Sag, let me fix this here. All right. Let Spirit release the seventh and last card for Sagittarius for the purpose that awaits this retrograde. Two cards popped out. I'm going to go ahead and put them back in there. Sometimes, Sag, I have certain feelings. How Spirit speaks to me, I just go with it or I choose not to. They kind of, usually it's when I change my mind, I'll say, okay, I'm going to do this, and then something in, the thoughts, that's how they communicate with me, will be like, no. So I put those two back, but I did take the other two earlier. And I always say, people always say, oh, well, no, what if that was the card for me? I'll say, if it was meant to be, it'll pop out again. Okay. Spirit, oh, all right. So for your last position, The Hangman. See him? Okay. All right, Sag. So, for the messages attempting to reach your intuition, is basically celebration, Sag. It's completion, occasions for success. Having your harvest moon, Sag. Celebrating what you have earned, Sagittarius. Your last reading, I want to say, I think it was for the full moon, or it was either the monthly. It was one of those. I'm posting a lot of videos because there's a lot going on astrologically. It's kind of hard for me to remember them all. I just start to do little snapshots. But besides that, you guys got a really good reading as well. I want to say you guys are one of the best ones in terms of the quality of the reading, or the messages in it, I should say. Let's start with say it, or let's go with that. So, and I want to say you guys got this too. Not in this position, but within the spread. It's celebrating, Sag, all the things that you have done, the work that you've put in, and recognizing it. And it's okay to celebrate. You guys are all about expansion. Jupiter rules you. It's not necessarily the luck, but the things that you have done and put into place and into fruition and into a certain direction. Celebrate it, Sag. It's okay. You don't always have to keep going, moving forward with your thoughts or with the things that you do and that you implement. I mean, yes, always move forward, but take some time, Sag, just to stop and reflect and to know that it's okay to celebrate. You deserve to celebrate those things. You deserve to have that harvest moon, Sag. You need it. Because when you celebrate certain things, I'm not saying have a whole month-long celebration, I mean, unless it calls for that. But when you celebrate those things, especially with the people who have either helped you or that are important to you or that love you, or in conjunction of all of them, that would be great, right? All of them together in one place. When you celebrate things, Sag, it's awareness and it's recognition. It's recognizing what you have done and the things that you've put into it. It's hard to accomplish things now, in this generation now, and these days, and this Aquarian little way that we're going about things. It's very difficult. And what's even more difficult is actually stopping, Sag, and having the time, the resources, and the energy to actually recognize those things. Being in the age of the Aquarius, or the Aquarian age, is just, it's all about go, 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 change, 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 change. And yes, change is great, but we need to celebrate the change that we actually do and put into it. Because if we don't celebrate it, we don't recognize it and we aren't aware of it. The celebration is the release of all the hard work that we put into it. And also, when you celebrate too, Sag, you have and you grow the ambition to move forward and to continue on with it. And also, it's the completion of something as well. You have to recognize those things, Sag, and you have to be confident in them, and to be confident in yourself, to know that you did that, it's like, I did that, that was me. Like, yeah, that's great, Sag, and you need to celebrate and you need to recognize it. It's very important, because if you don't recognize it, then you don't recognize what's the next step. How do we go about, and maybe improving it, or how do we go about how do we move forward from this point? And when you celebrate it, Sag, and when you bring everyone into it that wants to celebrate for you and with you, you then learn, Sag, who's actually there for you during those times of celebration. Who wants to celebrate with you? Because you never feast with those who didn't starve with you, Sag. If they starved with you and they're celebrating with you, they really do want to be in your life, and they really do, or are genuinely proud of you, Sag. But you can never have those moments of realization if you don't stop and take a second just to recognize it, Sag. You have to do that. It's very important. Okay. On your for your second card, the areas in your life that you need to reflect on. You guys got the Son of Swords, but in reverse. So give me a second here. I'm picking up urgency. When the Son of Swords is upright, it's someone or an essence or a person who is urgent in their dealings, and they're urgent in how they approach situations. See how his wings are up, and how, I mean, it's kind of hard to see when it's in reverse, but his wings are up and he has a sword in his, and it's at the end. See how his kind of preaching or his claws are around the sword, but it's at the end. It's that moment or that essence of urgency that whatever it is that you're going to do, you're going right fully all the way into it. But when it's in reverse, it's kind of calling you or causing you to not be so urgent. And I want to say that what I'm picking up on has to do a lot with what I was saying about the Four of Wands, in terms of not being so urgent to keep on moving forward, to have that moment of stillness and to have that moment of contemplation of, I deserve this, and this is what I have done, and I will celebrate myself for these things. Maybe not be so forceful, maybe in terms of moving on or just in general within your dealings as well. And I'm not saying not have the ambition, because of course that's how you came to the point of celebrating things. But I'm picking up a lot on, take a second just to stop, not to be so urgent in moving forward. I know that sounds very strange, because even my Virgoian ways, it's like, what? Not move forward? Like, what, excuse me? Like, what? We don't do that here. Like, but not move forward in terms of just slowing down, Sag, and recognizing these things that have come to pass, and recognizing that they are moments of celebration, Sag, and you need to celebrate them. It's very important. It's how you recognize your success, and it's how you recognize where you're at, and if the things you have done have served you, Sag. And I want to say that they have. For your third card, the hidden truths that command your honesty, you guys got Judgment upright. And Judgment pretty much stands for forgiveness and seeking the truth. Let's see, Sag, one second. Let me see what I'm picking up on. I don't know why, Sag, but I'm kind of picking up on, I think Pisces got this not too long ago too, one of their spreads. Be careful who you celebrate with, Sag. And I'm also maybe picking up on people who are too urgent sometimes to help you succeed, or to help you do certain things, or to acquire certain items or attributes, or to procure certain things. Kind of going back to that little saying that I gave you at the beginning of the spread, how never feast with those who didn't starve with you. Make sure that you pay attention, Sag, to who's there, but who's there during the celebration, but most importantly, who's there on your way up to the celebration too, Sag. And see who's there for benign reasons, for reasons of being happy for you, not because you did something for them in terms of that will help them out, and it was done in a selfish manner, or they helped you because there was a motive involved in it that was kind of maybe for their benefit. Watch out for beguiling and people inveigling you into maybe succeeding in a certain way, like like a false sense of celebration. I don't know why I'm picking that up, but be very careful with that. Maybe some air signs are maybe involved in this since it is the Son of Swords. And usually when it's a son or a daughter, it's going to be, or in terms of this deck, it's going to be like a page within a different or normal tarot deck. It's someone who brings messages, but they're kind of a youthful spirit. It's a youthful vibe, a youthful energy. And when they're youthful like that, they can tend to make mistakes and they don't come with the most mature, most thought out intentions or plans. And I'm also picking up trusting yourself, not having so much judgment in yourself too, Sag. Because if you look at the card, it's the dove rising from the dark to the light. And see how the dove's looking down at the bats? The bats are, they signify those or the things that need to rise with you. And the dove is flapping his wings because all the bats also that want to come up, that don't deserve to come up from the dark, he's sending them back down. I think that's why I'm getting that when I say to be careful who you celebrate with, it's going to be those bats that don't need to come up with you. And see, that's also very funny too. The bat is also on the hangman. Yeah, I think that's about it for that card, Sag. Just judgment in general in terms of who you celebrate with, and also maybe for yourself in terms of don't judge yourself so harshly. And seek the truth within yourself. For your fourth card, the dark sides of your personality that are being highlighted, we got the Son of Cups. So the things that are being highlighted, I want to see what I'm picking up on, Sag, is your charm. Because you guys can charm anyone. You guys are real good at that, right? And I mean that in a positive, good sense. Also, maybe some of the intensity that comes with it. I feel like these are all really good attributes. But maybe they can cause emotion in other people. Now, when I say that, it's more like what I'm picking up on. It's more of their insecurities, maybe during certain trials that are going on within their lives or your guys' lives together, where you may not look at it as such, or an area or a situation as so detrimental, but others do. And also it could be vice versa as well, Sag. Maybe when certain things get brought up or certain things happen, you may tend to get emotional and maybe too emotional about these things, and they maybe prevent you, or maybe that's why judgment is involved as well. I feel like the intensity is what's really calling to this spread. But I don't feel like it's a negative thing. Or maybe their intensity can maybe be a little bit too, it can be implemented or put into action at the inappropriate times. Let's not be so intense when either we're trying to succeed or within our dealings. I'm also picking up on, let's be introspective in terms of the judgment card, in terms of who we celebrate with. I don't know why, but I'm picking that up too. I think Libra got that as well. Be careful who you celebrate with, or was it Pisces was one of them, where we need to just make sure we know who's there for us for those good reasons. For your fifth card, the best method in ridding the negativity, The Seven of Pentacles, Sag. You need to remember, Sag, that during those moments of uncertainty, you're going to have to trust yourself. On a side note, I just picked this up, the Son of Cups and the Four of Wands right here. Pay attention, Sag, to what's going on. When, like I said, when you have those moments of celebration. Because I just picked up on some people may make you feel bad. Or some people may be maybe a little bit jealous. And they may try to convince you otherwise that you don't deserve that celebration because maybe you didn't put that much work into it. But you really did. Because there wouldn't be a celebration if there wasn't some sort of success. And don't let people tell you that otherwise. I just picked that up right now. I felt very compelled to say that. But okay, let's get back to the and reading the negativity for your fifth position. I feel like it's kind of attached to the Judgment card a little bit. To the things that need or command your honesty. It's when you have those moments of uncertainty and contemplation of the uncertainty, Sag, you're going to have to really dig deep and find that route that you need to take. I'm picking up on go to your past experiences and realize and recognize what went wrong and how it did go wrong and apply that to your future situation, Sag. Because that will help you choose the right destination or the right road to go down. And it's going to take that judgment and it's going to take seeking the truth. And it's going to also take forgiving yourself for maybe having those moments where you did make a mistake. But guess what, Sag? Here's the gag. Those mistakes made you who you are today. And those mistakes are going to prevent you from making another mistake. That's why you're in that moment of contemplation. They're to be used as references within your mind. That's going to help you seek the truth. That's going to help you throw all those bats down and tell them, back, right? Because you don't need those people sucking your blood and bringing you down and trying to maybe rode off your coattail in a sense. You need to seek the truth, Sag, because that's the only way that you know how to move forward. That's extremely vital. I'm picking up on that right now. It's extremely vital in knowing which road to choose. I'm also showing a little bit of, or I'm being told, it has a little bit to do with the Son of Swords. That's why you don't want to be in an urgent state, or you don't want to festinate when it comes to making certain decisions. Don't make them in haste. Yes, make them in a timely manner, the decisions, but take that second to stop and be like, you know what, is this the right thing to do? Is this going to serve me in the future? So I think general contemplation over your decisions and your choices that are to come. For your sixth card, the transitions and adjustments ahead. It's got the Daughter of Cups here, but in reverse. Let's be careful, Sag, to not be influenced from other people or by them. See how everything around her is black and white, but her shadow is in color? That means that she doesn't really, when I say she, I'm meaning the Daughter of Cups, she doesn't realize how great of a person that she really is and the energy that she reflects off of, maybe coming from who she is and her disposition. And if you, I mean, it's kind of hard to see, but let me show you guys. And how she's not really looking at her shadow. She's kind of just gazing to the side of it because she doesn't even see it. She doesn't recognize what's happening and how she's coming off. When I say this, I mean it in a good way, because she's too young, since it is a daughter, to realize all the goodness that's coming off of her. But I mean, you guys got it in reverse, but I want to say that I don't necessarily see this as being a bad thing. I just see it as maybe you are starting to maybe recognize all of that creativeness that comes out of you. Because then you wouldn't get to this point of the celebration. Because once again, Sag, when you take that time in that moment to celebrate it, you're looking at your shadow. And you're saying, this is mine. This is how we do it. Also, let's not be too emotional. You guys usually don't have that much of an issue with the emotion. But let's just remember to not be so emotional about certain things. Not be so sensitive. And I feel like you guys are coming out of a period where you're not influenced, which is a good thing. I mean, in a sense, it's not a, it is a good thing, because then when you're not easily influenced, you're able to make the right decision. And you're able to do those things that serve you and to make the right decisions in terms of the things that serve you. Because then you stay true to yourself, not try and portray something different, because then that leads to deceit in a sense. But I don't think you guys are doing that. It's just you're coming from a period where you're recognizing those things. For your 7th card, the purpose, the destination that awaits this retrograde, he has got the Hangman. The Hangman can be described as a sacrifice and letting go of things. I feel, Sag, this retrograde is going to bring you to a point where you're going to be contemplative. It's kind of, these two cards right here are sort of this, not the same, but the sacrificing and the letting go comes from the contemplation of choosing to do that, or to see, or to discern, or to decide what to leave and what to take, or what, how to go about certain things. And I feel, such that you're going to have to let go of certain things that no longer serve you. It's going to be hard. And it may cause you to be a little emotional. I mean, you got the Son of Cups and the Daughter of Cups. So I feel like the Son of Cups and the Daughter of Cups kind of have to do with your dark sides in terms of your personality. You're going to have to recognize them. It's hard for me to completely put a blanket term over it, since it is a general reading. But I feel like a lot of your personality, the things that you keep to yourself, are going to prevent you from moving forward, and are going to prevent the transitions and the adjustments ahead. Because see how here, let me turn it this way for you guys. How her color is actually reflecting, and how his color is still within his cup. He's keeping it to himself. He's keeping it in his cup. And hers is not in her cup. She's indulging and showing it in a sense. And he's keeping it hidden. And ironically, the Son of Cups right here was the dark sides of your personality being highlighted in a sense, where you need to drop that cup and you need to see what's in it, Sag. You're going to have to reveal it. And then right here is the adjustments and transitions ahead. You're not going to be able to have the adjustments and the transitions if you don't spill what's in that cup, Sag. Because you never know what's in that cup, and maybe it can help you in life. And I feel like a lot of that has to do with letting go and sacrificing certain things, because then you make the discernment to do that. I think that's pretty much it, Sag. Just watch out for the people you celebrate with. Go into those moments of contemplation and know what you need to do and how to get there, and make sure that you use proper judgment. And you also, because when you utilize all of those things and you put it together, Sag, that's how you're going to come up with a decision as to what to let go and what to sacrifice. And spill that cup, Sag. See what's in it. It's a moment of vulnerability, Sag, and I know that you really don't like that. But within our vulnerability, we once again learn and see who's there for us. Because people do not realize how hard you ride for them until you park. And sometimes, Sag, you may need to park your car and say, enough, like, I'm not doing this anymore. Or continue on with it. And the other saying too, I don't know what's with the fire signs, the sayings are coming out. I don't know, it's very strange. But when your car runs out of gas, you see who helps you push. That's another one too. I think that's about it, Sag. I'm kind of picking up from this spread. But yeah, Sag, overall it looks pretty good. Just some little changes that need to be made within this Pluto retrograde. Well, I hope you liked your spread and you enjoyed it. And let's work on these things, okay, Sag? Right. See you next time.